Hello and welcome back to the Carpenter's YouTube channel. Today we're going to have a little look through my tackle bag. So to get things started, this is a quarter compact large carryall. I do an extra large, a large, medium, small and extra small. I've got two large ones for my cookware and my tackle, a medium one for all my personal bits and clothes, and then I've got the extra large cool bags. Okay, so if we just have a quick overlook of the carryall, see the branding at the front just here. You've got the very nice actually padded shoulder straps. You've got the quarter logo embossed into the leather, and it's got these proper hard heavy duty military kind of release straps for the shoulder straps. So that's a nice touch, made out of a really nice material. Got leather handles, proper quality carryall. So I really do recommend you picking one of these up, or at least having a look, because in my opinion, you know, there's not a lot better you're going to get than this. But anyway, enough about the actual carryall. You want to see the contents of this thing, so let's start with these front two pockets. We'll move our way to the sides, to the back, and then actually inside the main compartment. So if we open up this left pocket here, these are modular. So the large one can hold 4 compact 200s, the medium the 140s, the small I think it's the 100s, and the extra large the 220s, and so on and so forth. So I don't have any modular pouches in that regard. I do have some compacts in the main compartment, but we'll get to that in a second. So the first thing we have in here is my Skywinder. This is just a different version of a spom, makes less splash, so when you're trying to be a bit more discreet, you've got this on hand to use. So we've got the quarter marker float. So this is when you're, you know, if you've got a dedicated marker rod, obviously this will be on it all the time. But I've only got one rod that I use for marking and spotting, and at the moment it's in my quarter compact rod holder. It's the 5-rod version, so spom's on that at the moment, but it only takes a couple of seconds to put this one on it, and you know, it just makes it easier to find depths. I've got a deeper, I've got a bait boat, etc. But yeah, you can't really beat the good old marker work. So moving on from that, we've got some PVA webbing. This is the 10-meter version. You know, you can put boilie, pellet, stick mix into this, anything you want really. That's that, and not a lot else. We've got my probe lead as well, that I do use for my my marker float. So that is everything that goes into this compartment. It's empty now. So move on to the other compartment. In here we've got the box for the stage stands for my singles. We've got some 50-pound shock leader. Got my actual stage stands, a couple of rod rests, a couple of cables, and just loads of crap at the bottom there really. So moving on to this compartment. This is my right hand side compartment. We've got some of the Gardener rig foam, this PVA rig foam. You know, simple, does the job. I use this for my adjustable zigs, and that's pretty much the only thing I use it for as well. So that's that. I've got a couple of bivy lights just here. These are what a company called Sunbless has sent me out. I'll just show you that there. Sunbless has sent me 2 of these out to try. You know, I've recently just done a 9-day session on Bluebell Lake. On the Bluebell Lakes complex, there's a lake there called Bluebell Lake, and 2 of these lasted the whole 9 days. Didn't have to charge them once. Proper good bits of kit. I think they're only about 30 quid each. So definitely recommend these. You know, they're definitely up there with the Ridge Monkey and the Tracker ones, I'd say. So thank you to Sunbless for sending me these out, and let's move on. Yes, I can't actually quite remember what's in here, but yeah, there we go. So I've got a couple of power banks. I've got some rig tubing that I found on the bank on the way home, so I took that home with me. Got a couple of portable chargers. I've got my my quarter crusher boilie grinder. So that's literally everything that's in that compartment. Just put all this back onto a side for a minute. A bit of a messy one, but it is what it is. Right, now let's move on to the back. This is where stuff starts to get exciting. This is where the most important bits of tackle are kept, in this back pocket. and the main compartment. So in here we have the Korda singles with the Delkim TXID alarm. So I've got 3+1 set. I've got red, white and blue. Patriotic, it has to be done. They are still charged, so I've got red just here, and then these attached to the Korda singles. Got all the little bits and bobs in here that you'll need for it. The spike, got the Solar P1 minis for my butt rests, and then you've got the Delkim alarms. And at the bottom here, I'll just show you it. This little thing just here, it's a bit overexposed because I'm in the shade back there. This is for the Korda stows. We'll get onto those in a minute when we get into the tackle box. So delve into there. Sorry about the wind. If we delve into here, we've got this little compartment up here. Got my catapult and some hand warmers for when it's winter time. Don't need those anymore, I can tell you that. So this is where stuff really starts to get exciting. We've got the Korda compact scales pouch, I believe it's called. Yeah, the Korda compact scales pouch, and then here we've got my Korda edition Rubens. So these are the Reuben Heatons. These are the 120 edition. You know, there's no fishing situation where these won't be handy, because you're never going to find a carp over 120 pounds in the world. So not a you know, your classic mirror common carp. I know there's the Asian types of carp that get to a lot bigger than that, but for European angling, the 120 Rubens will do just fine. So these are kept safe in the Korda compact scales pouch. Like I just said, it's got a nice little leather handle. This just slots straight into the side of my my large carryall. So if we come into here, I'll say this till after. This is a Korda compact 220. This is the largest model they do, I believe. This has got everything in it, from my rig safe to my tackle safe, zig stuff, my receiver, everything's in here, and we'll get into that in a couple of seconds. But here we've got my my bait boat stuff. So it's got my my controller in it, both antennas for the bait boat, I do believe. Yeah, it's got the bait boat antenna, the controller, the sort of, I guess you could call it the rudder protectors for the bait boat. I don't use these though, I feel like it slows it down. Got a fair spare finger stool in there, and that's literally everything that's in the New Direction tackle bait boat controller bag, I guess you could say. This, if you recall in one of the videos, this is the Compact 140. Now, I'd love to take credit for this idea, but this was absolutely not my idea. This is my solid bag making box. So in here we've got, it's absolutely full to the brim because I restocked it before I got home. We've got the cell stick mix, we've got Scopex squid pellet, JH Baits banana Scopex pellet, and I believe we've got some bloodworm pellet in there as well. So that's that. The little filling tool from Korda that you get with the solid bags. Got some solid bags in the top just here, in this little pouch just here. You know, you can just absolutely stock full of solid bags at the moment. Never have too many of those, so I do need to get a couple of those tied up. But that's for another day. I'm not going fishing for another couple of days, so I'll get a couple of those tied up probably a day or so before I go fishing. That's that. We go into here. This is another bit of kit I don't see very often on the bank. This is the Korda compact organizer. If we just have a look in this bag, in this box, sorry, we've got the Spom braided shock leader. I do have a spare spool of that you saw in the carryall earlier. We've got the soft end trap, we've got £35 boom, £25 boom, and then we've got the £11 zig line, all from Korda, apart from the Spom, which is actually owned by Fox. I bet you didn't know that. So here we've got some ready-made PVA bag rigs when I don't have time to tie them, or you know, I see an opportunist move where I need to move quickly, and say I'm unorganised and I'm prepared and I don't have anything tied up. Just get one out of these bags, put it on the Avid bag stem, tie a side bag up quickly, and you're ready to cast out. But I'm not one for using really tight rigs. The only time I use them is when I'm trying a new rig, let's say. You know, just save a bit of money buying all the components, and then you discover that you don't like the rig, and then you never use the components again. So That's the only time I'd use a ready tied rig, I guess. But no, the solid bag rigs, these are absolutely a godsend. You know, I'll never travel anywhere with it without 2 packs of these. So I've got 6 rigs ready to go. Size 6 barbless, because pretty much everywhere I fish is a barbless fishery. I've got the average bag stem, I've got long and short, I've got some size 4 wide gate barbless hooks, Kamkura ones, got some hook. Yeah, in a nutshell, that's the compact organiser complete. That's empty. Got some small crimps here, obviously open, there's nothing in it. Why not have it in there just for show? So now this is how do I put this? I would be lost without what's in here. I wouldn't be able to go fishing, certainly wouldn't be able to go night fishing. Yeah, this is just absolutely vital to my everyday fishing. You know, everything I use is in here. Let's just open her up and have a little look. So, first thing you see when you open it, you see a couple of boxes, a couple of packets down there, and this. So these are actually quite new. I got these a couple of weeks ago, I believe. These are the Corda Stows. These aren't the basics ones, these are the proper ones. Not cheap at all. But as you've probably gathered by now, I'm a bit of a Corda fanboy. Had to have the Corda Stows to go along with everything else I've got. So that's that. The box comes separately, which is a little bit stupid, I think. But yeah, I've got the 3 green Stows to suit the Corda colours, and then the box is an extra, optional extra. Brought that so I could protect them, because at 65 quid or whatever it was, don't want to be losing these or breaking them for sure. So it's a vital part of bite indication, and these match with the Delkims. I honestly don't think you can get a more sensitive setup than the Stows and the Delkims, because these clip into your line. They're not like a ball that can run freely up and down the line. You slot this in and it's a stiff fit. You know, the line doesn't move. When you get dropped back, it doesn't just sort of slide down, it sort of goes like that down it. Mega setup, and so far I love them, absolutely love them. Here we've got my my Delkim RXD receiver, yeah, that's the name of it, and it's called Charge. So that's that. You don't need to know anything about this unless you do actually want a like a sort of my thoughts on the Delkim video. Anything like that. I've got my my Corda finger stool just here. Cut my finger too many times. Originally I thought on having one of these was a bit of a silly idea, but yeah, I paid the price, and I've learned from my mistakes. Never again will I be spomming out without wearing one of these, because it is just asking for trouble. Because once you cut your finger on wet braid, it leads to a horrible session, I'll tell you that now. I know from experience, so trust me on that. Got the lanyard for my receiver. It's pretty simple. There's a little thingy at the back. It's kind of like a horseshoe, I guess. Slots into like that, and then you got your Delkim on a lanyard, just like that. Put that back in there. So that's the Delkim lanyard. We've got a couple of leads, a couple of inline leads, bucket clip for the receiver. But now we're moving on to the really exciting stuff, I guess you could say. So this is, you can probably guess the brand by now. This is the Corda Zig box, but this doesn't just have my zigs in it. It's got my leader in it, some ready-made zigs, some for zigs that I tie up, because I mainly use adjustable zigs. So this is really just for ready-made zigs. Just, you know, whack one out there quickly, opportunist sort of fishing, and I use it for my lead core leader as well. So in here is my my actual tackle safe. This has got everything that I take fishing with. So if we just open it up like that, you'll see an absolute ton of stuff in here. You know, if we work our way from the top, from left to right, and then down and right to left, I guess. In here we've got hook beads, we've got medium large kickers, we've got some micro ring swivels there. We've got some spinner swivels and some spinner ring swivels, and then we've got the QC swivels in a size 8, I believe. In here, if I can open it, here we go. Right, cork, bait stops for corn, and we've got the extended chains for my stows. Just keep them in there, know where they are all the time, and it just makes it that little bit more easier. So I've got some packs of size 4 claws in here. That's my go-to hook. I've never ever don't use this hook. In here we've got the 0.6 crimps for the 25-pound boom, and then in here we've got the 0.7 size crimps for the 35-pound boom. The bit of a deeper one where you can put all your what I've got in here, to be honest. My quarter razor blades, that's what they're called. Ultra sharp scissors, perfect for cutting braid. Anything you throw at it, it will cut it. Bait drill for when I'm corking pop-ups. I've got some rig pullers for when I'm tying my spinner rigs. Got to make sure that boom is perfectly straight, because when you get out of the spool, it's sort of like a curve. Don't want that. It's got to be dead straight. Got some of the dark matter putty here. This is in the weed green. Yes, it is. Got marker elastic, baits, a baiting needle. We've got a baiting needle, some bait stops just here, marker elastic bait floss, and then some pellets from my solid bag mix in there for some reason as well. So if we go into the bottom left here, we've got my my lead clips, some more, well no, these are normal swivels, these aren't the QC swivels. We've got some tail rubbers, slow sinking maze, and then we've got my pop-up maze as well. So that has covered all bases for my fishing so far, and I would have imagined it will continue to do so for the foreseeable future. You know, all my little bits and bobs go in here. Obviously my spools of hook link and things like that will go into my compact organizer that's just down here. It'll go into my compact organizer that's just in here. But yeah, everything else, just pop it in here, and I've never had any issues with stuff missing, not having enough kit that I need for the session. You know, I'm always sorted, and it just makes that session that bit more easier in my experience. So take these things out. Got a heli-safe leader in here, just ready to go if I ever need it. That should be on the zig box for some reason, but it isn't. We've got some attachments for the heli-safe. And here is my rig safe. We won't go into this because it's an absolute mess. But yeah, basically all my rigs go in here. I've got some spinner rigs, got some larger, some smaller, got some size 8 side bag rigs for when I'm using those, and I believe that's it on this front, at least. If we just delve a little bit deeper into here, we've got some leader material, some zigger liners from a brand from Fox. Love these, absolutely love them. Fiddly, hard to get on, but no, they absolutely do the job. Now I had a lovely 26-pound linear a couple of last week, I think it was. I'll put the photo in now. That came 5 foot below the surface on a black zigger liner with a black bit of foam, and left it out there all night at 5 foot. And yeah, what a beautiful fish, you know, proper banging linear. That was one of 2 fish that session, but you know, I'm never one to complain. You know, what a cracking fish, absolutely banging. So I think that is everything. We've covered all bases for our fishing there. If you want to see more in depth about not just the contents of my compact carryall, but if you do want to see all my luggage, all that kind of thing, I think I could do a video of something like all my fishing kit or my fishing essentials or anything like that. Just plonk it down in the comments and I'll be more than happy to record it for you. But for now, that is the end of the video. I know you've missed me. It's been 3 weeks, a good solid 3 weeks as well, but yeah, fishing's been few and far between, I'm afraid, at the moment. But we are back on the bank in a couple of days' time. But as for now, everyone, I'll see you in the next video. If you're on the bank, tight lines, and if you're not, I bet you wish you were. But no, I'll see you in a bit, guys.